Let there be light, and there was light. Words of the said God, Mother Eve, of course. And we've got Adam in the back. Yes, this is Adam. So, we are talking about words that really generate a high vibration when we speak. We don't necessarily need someone to tell us, well, that it's called high on a scale. When we use these words, for instance, words like self-awareness or awareness or intuition or manifestation or belief or faith, those words seem to generate a vibration that is considered high, on a high frequency. And so, by even uttering those words or exercising their nature, it gives us an intuitive understanding of their vibration. But I thought it would be fun to see what they really mean on a numerical scale. That, I believe, will help us understand the scales even better, on numbers, on numerical values, and perhaps how we can use those values to better ourselves. So let us begin. Of course, I have on here the word crucifixion, which I've been doing a lot about the sacrifice, because this is the sacrifice template. Oh, let's do this in a way that you can see all the numbers. Do bear with me. So you can see the numbers of the 369, 369. So I'm just going to harness the camera. Okay, so there we can see 369, 369, 369. These are the numbers that I have been occupied with, in the sense of wanting to discover the deeper meanings. And I can see that 9, for instance, is birth, and in 9, for instance, it's the word bridge in itself equals 9. So that tells me that it's like both, or although the word both equals 3, but when we birth out something, or like the child is born in the ninth month or so, the child comes out on the ninth month, that gives us an indication that 9 is it's that bridge of something is birthed, and something is there's a space for another creation or meaning of something. So, for instance, where the child is now out of the womb, then there is another creation or another formation takes place in the womb. So, whether one could see themselves as single, then instead of being two, or where the mother and the child is together, now the mother is considered mother, but the child is birthed, and so there is a different dynamic there. So and that's what I see the number 9 as. It's that it's a bridge that takes you to a destination. So the child moves into a certain destination. And of course, when the 9 is turned like a child, the head, of course, protrudes out, and then it's the feet, we could say. We could say then it becomes a number 6. And of course, the number 6, we see that the child forms like a number 6 fetus in the womb as well. But it's just to say, there we can identify with the child in the external realm as a person, which we still do when they are in the womb, but they're like an individual because they are out of the womb. So we relate to them in a different way, meaning their care is now extended through the mother on an external dimension or external manner. So we have six, and of course, when we speak of nine, it's like we speak of six as well. So, um, three, I have done a few presentations on the number three that really shows that three is like half of eight. It's like a half of eight, the figure eight, but it also, and we saw how it's also in relation with eight, meaning three is also 2 or 11. When we do the numerical value for the word three, it is 11. But if we did the numerical value for 1 plus 1, that would be 2. And of course, 2 is 13. 2 gives us 13. We also see the word 8 comes on parallel with 13 by having the numerical value of 31. So 3 plus 1 is 4. Likewise, 1 plus 3 is 4, as in 2. So we could see the relationship here. And we see that as it's a developmental stage, as in the DVM for developmental or for development, we see that 3 is very dynamic. It's always seeking to be recognized. That's why 3 is very creative and expressive and so on. So I'm going to do just some single words and see what fun we can have of this. But the first one that I really want to do, because it's what I have just followed on now. I may have done this before out of my many words in the early days, but I think it'd be nice to go over this and see how we can make sense of the words we use. Intuition. Okay. Because this is what I do most times when I am doing these presentations. I do this on my intuition. I follow my intuition. And of course it begins with the first letter is 9. And so IN, in fact, intuition is, or 9 and 5 is already explaining what I wanted to say about the number 9, because the number 9 is like beginning. It's but beginning and end. And of course, this is what we have with the word beginning, which we did before. Beginning. It equals 9. It has 2 eyes, just as, intuition has 3 eyes. And that in itself, I think, is something to pay attention to. It's like saying we become more intuitive or understand our intuition when we open our third eye, or we need to have the third eye to understand intuition even more. We may do this consciously or subconsciously. Okay, so beginning equals 9. I'm not going to do the calculation on this. So it's 2, 3, 9, 2, 9, 6, 5. And I've just spoken about beginning and end. So we have the number 9 is beginning and the number 5 equals end. For the fun of it, let's just do this so you can see. I think because I'm really about doing a bit of fun thing here. So this is 2, 5, 7, 9, 5, 9, 9, 5, 5, 9, 5, 7. Now, what I did before was to conclude that 2 and 7 was really telling us about the 14 gods, as if it's a message saying that the beginning and the end, or beginning, is to do with the 14 gods. Okay, so 2 sevens are 14, 1 plus 4 is 5, which coincides with Eve. So let's add this up. So this is 5, 10, 15, 20, and this is 29, 36, 38, 39, 45. So 4 plus 5 is 9. So there's another thing, this reminds me of a scripture verse I saw, that there was 5 and there was 4, and I'm believing that that means this beginning, 4 and 5. Okay. So then end, the word end, E-N-D, is 5, 5, 4. Adding this together is 14, just as it will Mother Eve, E-V-E, which is 5, 4, 5 equals 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. Okay, so you get my drift. Beginning and end is intuition, deals with the beginning and the end. It gives us that that image or that picture of the whole of a cycle or a circle. So this is 5, 10, 15, and 15 plus 20 is 30, 35, plus 9 would be 44. So intuition is 44. 4 plus 4 is 8. And that as well, 4, if we did 4, F-O-U-R, and another 4, of course, so 6, 6, 3, 9. And these are, I'm just talking about this, these are the numbers that I am occupied with in my quests for the wisdom of the 369, but we have 639 here, the owl, that's inclusive of beginning. Beginning, in the beginning has end, it comes to 9. So 9 is all the numbers, and 5 is in the middle of numbers 1 to 9. So this tells us, and this is where we say where there is a beginning, there is an end. But we see in beginning, or there are many cycles. So 4, let's add this together. 9 plus 9, 18. That would be 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. So here we see that this is the days of creation. This is the number of man. And of course, as I've said before, we are of 6 species, or six people, beings, or whatever, the result of that. And we see 4 is foundational. This is the pinnacle, the pillar rather, of all creation. And of course 24 is the magic, where Mother said, let there be light, and there was light. So if we were to just see 2 4s like this, of course this would be 6 plus 6 would be 12. No matter how we look at it, 4 here, and there's another 24, of course. It's like this coincides as well with the 2 creations that I have spoken about on other presentations. So there was one creation already, and then there was another. Okay. Oh, the number of man, and of course 6 plus 6 is 12. We see we have 12 zodiac signs, 12 hours of the day, 12, there are many 12s, but of course they don't come to mind right now. Okay, so intuition is 8, and let's see, as I said, just to double check, this is, I know this is 22 because I've done it so many times, this part here, and this is 9, 12, 14. 14 plus 14 is 28. So this is, yeah. Oh, that gives us a different, not 44, this would be 50. Okay, let's do this again just to ensure that I've got it correct. So this is, well, it's quite a, oh, there's a 6 missing here. 44 plus 6 would be 50. So it is 50. I hadn't crossed this 6 out. Okay. So it's 50, meaning that is 5. Intuition is 5. It's 50. And it will take us right on the sacrifice template right here in the middle. So intuition, in actual fact, here, according to the numbers, is really giving us or presenting the position of new. When we are intuitive, we are presented with a new perspective of seeing something. It's the cycles. We are in cycles of newness. So that's what intuition really presents here. NEW, or the I, of course, and we have the I from the sacrifice. And as I say, with the word intuition itself, presents 3 eyes, which also tells us about the third eye, as with Mother Eve. There's another thing with intuition as well. It presents the number 5, which equals the mouth. So we could say mouth equals 5. Also, we have our 5 senses. We have our sight, our smell, our touch, taste and touch, and our sense of hearing. So these 5 senses, of course, we could say are also modalities or modes of communication, or to channel or form the bridge for getting into the third eye, or to be intuitive. So, for instance, we may see something that triggers our memory to get us onto a path or a trail of thought that ignites our intuition. So this is what number 5 really presents. End, for instance, END. So it ends one cycle of thought and takes us on to another. So I hope you have found this fun with the word intuition. And I'm also wanting to remind us that, look, it's good to pay attention to the letters, all the letters, as much as possible. In fact, if I were to do that, I think I would really go on quite a lot. We have 2 N's here, which is also indicative of end, like N. And you are here as well. You it's like to say, we need to count ourselves, or to be intuitive as well is to understand how or what are we, our position, and how we are relating. You are in this position. How are you relating with whatever position that is in, we could say, an IT, the it position, either way we look at it, or the in that position. Okay, so there are lots of things we can really work with by looking at these words here. The 2 T's as well, I now see them as T. I tend to see as the tree of life. Perhaps it means the tree of good and evil and the tree of life. That's me. Okay. All right. It's just having fun with the words. Okay. Thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed this. And if you see anything or want to leave your comments, please feel free to do so. Thank you. Let there be light, and there was light.